Welcome back, everybody. So today we're going to have the first tasting of batch number 5 in my 5-gallon split batch, first one for 2020. So what I did was I used the Anvil Foundry, made a 5-gallon batch, split it into 5 1-gallon batches. This is using Wakatu in the dry hop. So for the grain bill, 9 pounds of 2-row, 1 pound of Caramalt, 1 pound of Flaked rye, 1 pound of white wheat. Similar to my rye IPA, just I took the rye malt out and put in the wheat. So for the boil, now this does change versus all those rye IPAs. 1 ounce of Warrior at 60. That is it. Then we'll Whirlpool at 170 for 20 minutes. 1 ounce of Amarillo, Chinook, and Citra hops. For this one, IPA yeast, Omega 052 yeast was used. And 3 days into fermentation, 0.25 ounces of Wakatu. Wakatu, this did come from the Yakima Valley hop subscription. I am way behind on that. Yesterday, I actually got box number 3, and I still haven't even opened or did the review of what's in the second hop box. So this was bottled on 6/18, 6.89% ABV. Okay, Hess, good smoke out of there. I think out of all these, I am going to do a side-by-side, but batch 1 had the most carbonation. Let's go ahead and get this into a glass, see what we get. Replacing that, the rye malt with wheat malt, I was actually thinking we would get more of a hazy because that flaked rye is, you know, an oat, and then adding in that white wheat, more protein in there. So I was thinking we were going to get a New England style haze. Small and medium bubbles, off-white head, about a half a finger of head on there. Orangish, light orangish in color, somewhat hazy. I can make the outline of the light box. Good bubble level. Let's go ahead and smell. Earthy. Now, just like in the last one, I did forget. So for Wakatu, New Zealand is who makes it. Aroma, tropical notes, tropical fruit notes. It says is a standout for any lager or wheat or pale hybrid beer. This isn't a pale ale. Wheat, you could say, you know, in most of these I am getting a lot of wheat, so that I would say that wheat has been dominant over the 2-row, like that toasted bread, lightly toasted bread. I am getting a lot more wheat. So you could say this could work in here. I didn't write down the alpha acids, but I believe Wakatu's high alpha acid. Yeah, I would say a little earthy, fruity. I think now, maybe because the carbonation has settled down just a little, that fruitiness is coming out more, and I would think that Citra is complementing that. Maybe because of the higher alpha acid, it's cutting out like that toasted bread of that 2-row, and maybe that wheatiness of the white wheat. Yeah, it smells okay. It smells the fruitiest out of all of them, but let's go ahead and taste. I'm going to have to go with like a lighter toasted bread wheat mixed with fruit. It does pretty much taste like it smells, except for that toasted bread. A little spice, like perceived bitterness, I would almost go with 30. Like that rye is there, but as I said in all these, usually the spice goes through my mouth, and where that bitterness hits the back of my throat, and this isn't hitting the back of my throat, it's just all in my mouth. So that's why I'm going with spice. It's amazing that 1 pound of flaked rye has brought out this much spice. Now it could be the hops or that whirlpool of Chinook that is bringing out more spice. I don't know. I don't know if I've done another beer homebrew where I've used Chinook in the whirlpool. Because maybe the whirlpool brings out more spice. It's just funny to me that I believe some of the rye IPAs I made didn't have as much spice as these do. Maybe because I screwed up. I shouldn't say I screwed up. I'll blame it on the camera. The camera screwed up tasting one of this, so I only have one of each left. I wonder if I should do the last rye IPAs and these in the same day and kind of compare them, because something's telling me these have more rye spice than the rye IPA. And I did 7 of those. This is about a month and a half old. This one seems the smoothest, but not as big flavors than any of. I think all the other ones have bigger flavors. At least you're getting a little citrus, more fruitiness, or something in all those other ones, where this one is very tame. I don't think that fruitiness and that spice go together very well. I do get some sweetness from this. I don't know what to think about this one. It's almost like that fruitiness. If that rye wasn't there, it would be a lot better. And I'm not saying you should make a rye beer with fruit, because I think so far none of mine have turned out very well. They're drinkable. Maybe somebody would like them, but that combination of fruit rye doesn't really go together very well. Yeah, smooth. Yeah, I wouldn't brew this one again. I think just like the Mosaic batch, I think it would be better if the rye wasn't in there. I would probably take the rye out and also the Chinook out. Oh, my beer's done. But yeah, I wouldn't brew this one. I would take out the flaked rye and I would take out the Chinook, and I would put more this in the Whirlpool and the dry hop and see what happens on that. So yeah, that's what I can say. I will be doing a side-by-side of all 5, so make sure you check out that video. If you enjoyed this, check some more videos out over here, and until next time, happy brewing.